Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. When I asked my guides what I was to present today, one of the things that came forward was what Spirit is doing to try to effectively shift us from what we are doing to what they want us to do. You've got to remember, we are creatures of free will. There is no way that they're going to impose their will on us, but they will nudge us in the right direction. In my case, I was very happy in my job, in my lifestyle, in what I was pursuing until I wasn't. Most of the time, when I started in my career, I literally thought I would live and die as a real estate broker. I did not see any possibility of any change in my life. I felt that I had found a career that I was perfectly suited for and that perfectly suited me, my ambitions, my drive, my willingness to work hard, everything about the prospect of looking at a list of 200 homes and knowing somewhere within that list was the perfect home for my clients. It was up to me to find it. I knew that I had to just diligently apply my skills, my personality, everything that I loved about other the hunt and peck aspect of the job, creating a new life, taking a couple into a new direction, getting them qualified, finding a lender where no other agent, could figure out how to get them qualified, find a lender for them. Uh, People came to me who had been turned down by real estate after real estate or lender after lender, and by just being very closely attuned to the needs of the buyer as well as the needs of the what the marketplace offered. I was able to match and find a way for people to get into homes. So, very, very diligent, very happy, very proud of the work that I did not feel at all encumbered until I was in it for about 25 years. And then something started happening to me. Well, several things started happening to me. First, I started getting completely uninspired and very tired of people asking the same questions. And I can remember going to an appointment in the evening, having to leave the comfort of my home, having to leave my children who were at that point entering middle school, high school, and feeling like, well, there was just no way that I wanted to listen to somebody else's problems, listen to the same old questions that I've been listening to year after year after year after year. And so, sure enough, as I went, good God, what is happening? As I went to the appointment, the first questions out of the couple's mouth was exactly the questions that I was screaming in my mind about. So that was the first thing, the boredom of the repetition of the questions, and having buyers that were just taking too long to make up their mind. I mean, schlepping somebody from house to house to house to house over a period of months and, in fact, even years, and having them not make up their mind uh, about a home that was completely suitable for them. But there was something even deeper. There was something even worse. My health was giving out. I had issues with backache, first and foremost, to the point where it was painful for me to stand. It was painful for me to sit. It was painful for me to lie down. It was like I was a walking column of pain. Secondly, my vision, whenever I got to a crisis point, my vision started to get distorted. And the vision would start as a bright circle of light and then continue to expand, 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 expand until the vision in one eye was completely gone. And I had no vision in one eye, and I could only see through the second eye. That was maddening. Also, my hearing. The people would say something, but I, it's not that I didn't hear them. I absolutely heard them, but the pain in my eardrums was horrendous. It just kept going and going and going. And I kept thinking, I felt like my eardrums were going to burst. So I knew that something was horrendously wrong, but yet I felt I can't stop. I can't do this. I can't pursue what my heart was telling me to pursue, and that was spiritual um, issues, because I didn't know of any way to make money off of it. And and of course, it never dawned on me that I had prepared myself for this lifetime by having been through many other lifetimes as a spiritual seeker, as a spiritual guru, as a spiritual monk, as a priest, as a nun, as a don't think I ever was a pope. Never felt that, but definitely was in the upper, even to the point of seeing a past life as a cardinal. And so just knew that I had so many opportunities to bring myself to um, uh, to health if I would only follow spirit's advice, but refused to do so. Finally, I think spirit in desperation to get me to change my direction. The thing that happened next was that I bent over s- to pick up a piece of paper. In the process of picking it up, I couldn't budge past a 45-degree angle. So I was like this. I was walking like this. And the only reason I straightened up is because I bent my knees. That was the time where we had the very long skirts. So I could actually take an appointment with my knees bent, and no one knew that I had an issue. Ended up going to 5 different specialists, and it was the osteopath who said he would reach inside of me and uh, pull a nerve. That he said he did this very often for dancers because they're the ones who ended up with uh, uh, problems, and this was a sciatica. And he did that. That gave me some relief. And then my chiropractor, who, when he read my book, recognized that this passage was about him because he also had always tested me for spiritual gifts. And the only part of my life that I tested weak in was the throat. And that was because I was not using my throat in the manner that I was supposed to be using it. So the throat chakra always tested weak whenever I went in. And I had been under chiropractic care for a total of 14 years. And then finally, I realized at the end, I was just coming to him when I had pain. And I realized, geez, I had seen him in January. This was December. A whole year had gone by, and I didn't feel the need to see him. So told him in December, just test me and let me know if I need to see you anymore. And the long and short of it was that I didn't. He did not need, I did not need to bring him um, on my journey through life anymore. He had given me the benefit of every single thing that he knew. But that was 14 years of being under chiropractic care. And during that time, I also started acupuncture. Acupuncture addresses a whole different flow in the body. And interestingly enough, my acupuncturist at that time told me that my S shaped spine at times was straight. So that intrigued me. The fact, because he worked on my back every time I saw him, which was once a month. And the fact that it was straight was incredibly intriguing. During this period, I think it lasted about 30 days, 45 days, um, when I had, like I said, picked up this piece of paper, was stooped, couldn't couldn't straighten up. I and went to 5 specialists. One of the specialists asked me, he said, "You have to slow down." And my answer was, "I can't." It didn't matter what I had to do, even if I was going to wreck my health in the process. I felt I had to keep going at the same pace I was going at. This is how ingrained our thinking becomes when we are on a singular path and can't see a way out. If you are at a place in your life where you feel you need to do something else, but you don't know what the something else is, absolutely follow your guidance. Listen, go into deep inside of yourself. Listen to the voices inside your head. See what they're pushing you towards. I know in my case, everything spiritual attracted me, but I thought that was a sideline. I never considered that as the main focus of my life. And so until it it ultimately became the main focus of my life. And I was then able to earn a living with it. I didn't understand that truly, if spirit puts you to it, guides you to it, spirit will take you through it and will guide you through what it is that you need to do in order to accomplish what spirit wants you to do, what your soul contract was, what you came here for. In my case, it was to be a healer. I had 3 astrology readings done. All 3 said the same thing. They looked at my chart. They said, "You are a healer." So I knew that eventually I would just have to do what I came here to do. Started small, started by giving readings, started by giving Reiki, and in like venues of where a lot of people would gather, like expo fairs. Went to Grand Rapids, Michigan to do this. Went to Dale City, which was about 20 miles away from my home, which isn't that far. But before I had the courage to become a Reiki teacher and then offer it on a daily basis, offer healing, offer readings. There's very little difference between healings and readings. Both of them require that you listen to the voice inside your head. I have images forming within my mind's eye. And in looking at what those images are, I get the story of what it is that the client is dealing with. It's no big mystery. I don't have to go searching. I don't have to literally do anything except pay attention to what shows up for me. Where does it hurt in my body? Where do I feel discomfort? That's a clue as to what issues need to be addressed in the person across from me. In every case of my energy healings, I know that my hands are guided, my eyes are guided. Many times I have my eyes closed in order to focus more deeply on the client. And I just feel so much better than I did. Doesn't mean I'm without health issues, because all those of you who have followed my videos know that I do have macular degeneration and I have AFib and I have scoliosis. So those are 3 major issues. Scoliosis doesn't give me any problems, but the AFib and the macular degeneration does. So I work on that on a daily basis. I offer healing to myself as well as healing to others. And in giving healing, I am fulfilling my soul's contract. If you need help trying to figure out what it is that where you are to go in your life, I recommend that you get Own Your Power Day by Day. You read 2 pages a day. You can read it like a novel. Then you can go back and read it on a daily basis. You can start as soon as you get the book. You can start from the beginning. It's dated. Every single day has its own lesson, typically 2 pages long. And the book has every word has been guided by spirit. So I strongly recommend that you get it, follow the lessons, do the meditations, and recognize that if you are being guided to do something different with your life and are resisting it, it doesn't matter what your excuses are. It doesn't matter how inadequate you might think you are, how you are incapable of doing what God is asking of you. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is you answering the call to do what it is that God wants you to do, what it is that your soul contracted for. Next week, I'm going to take you outside to show you my porch, my environment where I like to sit. Doesn't matter if it's hot out, doesn't matter if you know, how sweltering it is. The porch has a lovely fan which provides breeze, and it's big enough to make me feel super comfortable. But again, I don't mind the heat. And if you hate heat or if you get sick because of it, um, you wouldn't like it. But that's not my case. I'm very blessed in that I do like heat. So I thank you. I bless you. And if you need my services for anything else, my website is Alicia, ALICJA, Jones.com. Alicia is the Polish spelling of Alice. And since I was born in Poland, it seemed totally appropriate that I use that as my um, uh, website address. And I will see you next week. I uh, am going to do my best to start at 1 o'clock because I know that uh, I started a few minutes about 7 after, 5 after, and that does make people uh, not happy when you don't start on time. But thank you, and God bless you, and have a beautiful, safe week. Thank you.